Hello and welcome to this top 10 video from Football Weekender. In December 1992, Patrik Andersson signed for Blackburn Rovers and became the first Swedish player to play in the Premier League. Many of his compatriots followed over the next 30 years and we'll be counting down the best of them in this video. This is the top 10 Swedish Premier League players. Before we start, please give the video a big thumbs up like, and if you're new around here, consider subscribing to the channel for more content. I absolutely love making these videos and I really appreciate the support. Now let's get started with the top 10.
Number 10, Niklas Alexanderson.
We start our list with a cult hero. Sheffield Wednesday paid IFK Gothenburg £750,000 to bring Niklas Alexanderson to the Premier League in January 1998. He would go on to play 7 seasons in the division with Wednesday, Everton and West Ham. A major highlight was bagging 2 goals in a 3-1 win against Manchester United at Hillsborough in November 1998. Particularly notable, given United would go on to win the treble that season. The following season in 1999 to 2000 saw Wednesday relegated, but Alexanderson did his best to keep the Owls up, scoring 8 goals and winning the Player of the Year award. The winger was a cult hero because of another reason though. Due to a computer game, Alexanderson is a legend of the iconic Championship Manager series due to being able to play in every single outfield position. If you say the name Niklas Alexanderson to any football fan, there's a good chance that their response will be defender, midfielder, forward, right, left, centre.
Number 9, Sebastian Larsson.
It's a set-piece specialist at number 9. Sebastian Larsson joined the Arsenal youth team when he was 16 and he would spend the next 14 years in England. It was at Birmingham City that he would establish himself as a solid Premier League player and begin to earn his reputation as a great set-piece taker. Larsson lifted the 2011 League Cup with Birmingham, starting the final and swinging in the corner kick that would lead to the first goal in a 2-1 win over his old club Arsenal. Next, it was a free transfer to Sunderland in 2011 and a dream debut as he scored a volleyed equaliser against Liverpool at Anfield. He would further enhance his reputation as a free kick king in that first season by bagging 4 of them. In May 2014, Larsson scored the only goal of the game as Sunderland beat Manchester United and sealed their first win at Old Trafford 46 years. In total, Larsson made 282 Premier League appearances, scoring 26 Premier League goals. 11 of those were trademark free kicks.
Number 8, Dejan Kulusevski.
Tottenham signed Dejan Kulusevski on an 18-month loan deal from Juventus and he hit the ground running. Tall, strong and versatile with great dribbling ability and technique, and providing goals and assists, it's difficult to understand why Juventus would loan Kulusevski out. His first goal for Spurs was in a 3-2 win against eventual champions Manchester City, and in his first season he managed 5 goals and 8 assists in only 18 matches. He also did his best to help teammate Heung-min Son win the Golden Boot that season. In an interview with a Swedish podcast, Kulusevski described a situation when he was faced with an open goal against Norwich in the last game of the season and he tried to unselfishly pass the ball to Son, but he made a complete mess of it. So, when he got the ball again 2 minutes later, the winger didn't mess around and just stuck the ball in the top corner. At the time of recording, Kulusevski's loan deal is due to expire in the summer, but if he stays in the Premier League, there is no doubt that he will be a lot higher on this list in the future.
Number 7, Henrik Larsson.
Henrik Larsson actually only played 7 Premier League games, but his impact was so positive that he is fully deserving of his place at number 7 on this list. Larsson was already well known to Premier League fans, having seen him score an enormous number of goals for Celtic north of the border over the years. The striker finally came to England at 35 years old in January 2007, signing for Manchester United on a 10-week loan deal and scoring 3 goals in 13 appearances. Sir Alex Ferguson was desperate to extend the striker's stay, saying, "He's been fantastic for for us. His professionalism, his attitude, everything he's done, he's been excellent. I would have done anything to keep him. The striker left Manchester United when his loan deal expired in March 2007, and United would go on to win the Premier League title that season. The fans still recognise the huge part that Larsson played in his brief spell at the club.
Number 6. Stefan Schwarz.
Stefan Schwarz was a steely midfielder who had 2 spells in the Premier League. The first of those was with Arsenal in the 1994-95 season, signed from Benfica off the back of helping Sweden finish 3rd place at World Cup USA 94. Schwarz was popular with the Gunners fans and played a key role in helping them reach the 1995 Cup Winners' Cup final, scoring a free kick in the semi-final away at Sampdoria. Arsenal would go on to lose the final by way of an infamous Naeem strike from the halfway line, and Schwarz left for Fiorentina that summer. 4 years later, Schwarz was back in the Premier League after being signed by Sunderland, helping to supply the prolific Kevin Phillips and Niall Quinn partnership up front as the Black Cats put together one of their best teams in modern times. When signing for Sunderland, Schwarz famously had a unique clause in his contract. He wasn't allowed to travel to space. The midfielder had expressed an interest in being on the first commercial space flight, so Sunderland took steps to make sure his feet remained firmly on the ground.
Number 5. Anders Limpar.
We're taking it back to the 1990s at number 5. Anders Limpar actually signed for Arsenal before the Premier League even existed. He arrived in July 1990 from Cremonese for £1 million, which was a big fee at the time. An attacking midfielder, he would help Arsenal win the 1990-91 league title and bagged a hat-trick in a 6-1 win against Coventry City on the last day of the campaign. He was also involved in the infamous 21-man brawl against Manchester United earlier in the season, and was one of only 2 players to actually get booked for the incident. It was a busy day for Limpar, as he also scored the only goal of the game in a 1-0 win. The midfielder moved on to Everton in March 1994 and had a key role in 2 of the biggest moments in the club's recent history. It was Limpar who won the penalty against Wimbledon on the final day of the 93-94 season, converted by Graham Stewart to save Everton from relegation. And it was Limpar who started the counter-attack which led to Paul Rideout's winning goal for Everton against Manchester United in the 1995 FA Cup final. Popping up in various iconic moments, Anders Limpar is kind of the Forrest Gump of 90s English football.
Number 4. Jesper Blomqvist.
At number 4 is a sometimes forgotten hero of Manchester United's legendary treble-winning season. In 1994, United lost 3-1 away at IFK Gothenburg in the Champions League, and during that game they were terrorised by an electric left winger who scored the opening goal and provided 2 assists. That man was Jesper Blomqvist. The performance made a lasting impression on Sir Alex Ferguson, and 4 years later he finally got his man. Blomqvist signed from Parma for £4.4 million in 1998. Initially bought to provide cover for Ryan Giggs, Blomqvist's impressive performances meant that he actually made 38 appearances during the 98-99 season, winning the Premier League, FA Cup and Champions League. Sadly, shortly after the Champions League final, the winger suffered a serious knee injury, meaning he spent 2 years out of the game. After such a huge injury, understandably, Blomqvist wasn't the same electric player during later spells at Everton and Charlton. But he will always be a Swedish Premier League legend after his contributions to the treble-winning campaign.
Number 3. Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
One of the biggest characters in the history of the game, Zlatan Ibrahimovic was always going to make a huge impression in the Premier League. English clubs had looked on for years as Zlatan starred for huge teams all over Europe before he finally arrived in 2016, signing for Manchester United. He immediately hit the ground running, scoring the winner in the Community Shield against Leicester, another goal on his Premier League debut away at Bournemouth, and then another 2 goals on his first home appearance at Old Trafford against Southampton. He scored another 2 goals against the same opposition in the League Cup final, winning the trophy for United. Zlatan is no stranger to controversy, of course, and after elbowing Tyrone Mings in a league game against Bournemouth, he found himself on the end of a 3-match suspension for violent conduct. Ibra only spent 2 seasons in England, but he averaged a goal every other game, and of course it was really eventful and entertaining. The man is a superstar.
Number 2. Olof Mellberg.
Our man at number 2 spent 7 seasons as a rock at centre-back. In July 2001, Aston Villa signed Olof Mellberg from Racing Santander, and it would turn out to be one of the best bits of business the club has ever made. A solid and reliable defender, Mellberg became a hero for Villa fans. The centre-half didn't score many goals, but when he did, they were often big ones. He made history on the opening day of the 2006-2007 season, becoming the first player to score at Arsenal's new Emirates Stadium, and he also popped up with goals against local rivals Wolves and West Brom. Before leaving to Juventus on a free transfer, Villa supporters marked his final home game against Wigan in May 2008 by staging Olof Mellberg Day. A week later at West Ham, on his final appearance for Villa, Mellberg provided free shirts to travelling supporters as a thank you gesture. Mellberg made 232 Premier League appearances for Aston Villa and gave absolutely everything in all of them, and that's why he's a Villa legend.
Number 1. Freddie Ljungberg.
Scoring goals, winning trophies and modelling designer underwear, Freddie Ljungberg did it all. Almost completely unknown to Arsenal fans when he was signed from Halmstad in 1998, Ljungberg immediately let everyone know who he was by scoring on his debut against Manchester United. That was a sign of things to come, with big goals from the midfield becoming his trademark. Ljungberg hit a really hot streak towards the end of the 2001-2002 season, ending the campaign with 17 goals in all competitions and helping Arsenal to a Premier League and FA Cup double. He will make more memories in the 2003-2004 season as Arsenal won the title again, this time without losing a single game and cementing their place in the history books as the Invincibles. Ljungberg was a hugely popular character and everyone wanted a piece of him, including Calvin Klein. 2 Premier League titles, 3 FA Cups and a member of Arsenal's Invincibles team. That's why Freddie Ljungberg is the greatest Swedish Premier League player of all time and makes him number 1 on this list. So that's it. Do you agree with the list? Was the top spot correct? And who did I miss out? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to check out the Top 10s playlist for more videos like this, or take a look at any of my football weekender vlogs at games all over Europe. And please give the video a big thumbs up, like, and subscribe to the channel for more Top 10s and football weekenders. Take care, and I'll see you on the next one.